Good morning, my dear Prep 1 students. Hope you're all fine today. In today's lesson, we are going to introduce properties of addition and subtraction in Q. Let's go and start our new lesson. What are the properties of addition and subtraction operations in Q? They are the same as the properties of addition and subtraction that we have studied before in Z or in integers. The first property that we have studied was the closure property. What was the meaning of the closure property? Let's go and see. If I have 5 over 8 plus 7 over 8, I will have an answer of 12 over 8. As you can see, I have here a rational number added to another rational number, and my answer is a rational number or belongs to Q. And this is the meaning of the closure property. Adding two rational numbers will always result in a rational number. What about if I was doing subtraction? 10 over 8 minus 5 over 8. This is going to be equal to 5 over 8. 10 over 8 is a rational number, 5 over 8 is a rational number, and when I subtract them, I will have a result which is also a rational number. The addition and subtraction of any two rational number is also a rational number. The result must be a rational number, so that's why we call it a closure property. Let's go now and see the second property that we have studied before. It was commutative property. What was a commutative property? For example, if I have 5 over 8 plus 7 over 8, this is equals to 12 over 8. And what if I change the position of the two rational numbers having the 7 over 8 plus 5 over 8 this time? I will have an answer of 12 over 8. Have a look here. Order doesn't matter. Even when I change the position of the two rational numbers, still when I add them together, I got the same answer. And that's why we say that if A over B belongs to Q and C over D belongs to Q, then the order doesn't matter. If I made A over B plus C over D, it's equal to if I did C over D plus A over B. Order doesn't matter when I'm adding rational numbers, and this is the commutative property. What about if I was doing subtraction? 10 over 8 minus 5 over 8. I will have an answer of 5 over 8. If I change the position of the two rational numbers, making 5 over 8 minus 10 over 8, I will have here a result of negative 5 over 8. Have a look here at the two results. They are different, right? I cannot change the positions while I'm subtracting rational numbers. So we say that subtraction operation in Q is not commutative, meaning that order do matter while I'm subtracting rational numbers. And what about the associative property? Associative property was that I can regroup numbers again. For example, 5 over 8 plus 7 over 8 plus 2 over 8, and I grouped 7 over 8 and 2 over 8 together between brackets. I am going to have the answer of 5 over 8 plus 9 over 8, which is equals to 14 over 8. If I regroup now, 5 over 8 plus 7 over 8, those are the two numbers that I am going to add together, and the result I am going to add to 2 over 8. I will have 12 over 8 plus 2 over 8, and the final answer is the same, 14 over 8. So, if A over B belongs to Q, C over D belongs to Q, and E over F belongs to Q, whether I group them together in any way, still I'm going to have the same answer, and this is the associative property. I can group together numbers and regroup them in another way, and still when I am doing addition, I'm going to have the same answer. Let's go now for the fourth property, which is the additive identity. The additive identity in Q is 0. If I made 0 plus any number, I will still have the number as it is. 0 is the additive identity. The fifth was the additive inverse. What is the additive inverse? Simply, it is the inverse of the number, or the same number with the opposite sign. For every a over b, or for every rational number, there exists the additive inverse negative a over b, where a over b plus negative a over b equals 0, meaning that if I added a number to its inverse, I am going always to have 0. And those are the 5 properties in addition and subtraction that we have studied previously in Z, and going now to apply them in Q. Let's now open our school book, page 14, write today's date, and let's answer question number 1. Write the property of addition operation used in each of the following. Number A, 7 over 2 plus 9 over 16 equals 9 over 16 plus 7 over 2. As you can see here, all what I did was that I changed the places of the number. And we said that when we change the place of the number, one of them come instead of the other. This means that I am doing a commutative property. Let's go now for number B. 2 over 3 plus negative 1 over 3, and those are grouped together, plus negative 1 over 6 is equals to 2 over 3 plus negative 1 over 3 plus negative 1 over 6, and those two are grouped together. All what I did here was that I regrouped the numbers, and regrouping the numbers means that I did associative property. Number C, 3/4 plus negative 3/4 is equal to 0. I have a number and I added it to its inverse, so I got the result of 0. Adding the number to its inverse, this is additive inverse property. And what about number D, 5 over 8 plus 0 is equals to 5 over 8. We said that 0 is the additive identity because when I add it to any number, I will have the same number as it is. So 5 over 8 plus 0, this is the additive identity property. Let's go now for number 2 and find the sum of each of the following. 4 over 7 plus 0. Again, 0 was exactly the additive identity, meaning that if I added any number to 0, I will still have the same number as it is, which is 4 over 7 in this example. Number B, 0 plus negative 7 over 10. 0 added to a number. Any number added to 0, I will still have the number as it is, which in this example is negative 7 over 10. Let's go now for number C. Quarter plus negative quarter, they are grouped together, plus 3/4. I know that any number added to its inverse, the result is 0. So now I am doing 0 plus 3/4. 0 plus any number is the same number as it is. So number C is equal to 3/4. Let's jump now and go to number D. 5 over 6 plus negative 3 over 6 plus 3 over 6, and those two numbers are grouped together. I know that any number added to its inverse, the result is 0. So 5 over 6 plus 0, I will have 5 over 6. Let's go now for number E. 2 over 9 plus negative 4 over 9. They are grouped together, plus negative 3 over 9. Here I will have negative 2 over 9 plus negative 3 over 9. And remember, whenever I see brackets in mathematics, I go first and find the result of it before doing the other operations. So negative 2 over 9 plus negative 3 over 9 is equals to negative 5 over 9. I would like you now please to go and pause the video, copy the answers in the school book, page 14. Don't forget to write today's date. Let's go now for another question. Find the additive inverse for each of the following. I want to find the inverse of each of the following numbers. Number A is 3 over 7. What is the additive inverse of 3 over 7? We said that the additive inverse of any number is the same number but in opposite sign. I have here positive 3 over 7, so its inverse is negative 3 over 7. Let's go for number B. Negative 3 over 4 all to the power of 0. What is the additive inverse of this number? First, we should go and see. First, We studied before that any number to the power of 0 is equals to 1. So, negative 3 over 4 to the power of 0 is equals to 1. What is the inverse of 1? The inverse of 1 is negative 1. Number C, absolute value of negative 5 over 7. Again, we said before that an absolute value of any negative number is the same number but in positive. So absolute value of negative 5 over 7 is equals to 5 over 7. What is the inverse of 5 over 7? Is it the same number but in negative? So it's negative 5 over 7. Number D, what is the inverse of 0? Sure, the inverse of 0 is 0. Going now to number E. Negative 0.7, and this is a recurring decimal and 7 is repeated. Don't panic and don't get confused. Any number, if I want to find its inverse, I will have the same number as it is, but just with the opposite sign. So, negative 0.7 and this 7 is repeated. The inverse is 0.7 and this 7 is repeated. The same number, I only took away the negative sign. Let's go to another question. If a plus 6 over 7 equals 0. Now I have a number, I add it to 6 over 7 and the result is 0. How can I get 0 when I'm adding two numbers? The only way to have 0 when I'm adding two numbers is to add a number to its inverse. So I want to know what is the inverse of 6 over 7. The inverse of 6 over 7 is negative 6 over 7. So a is equal to negative 6 over 7. Because negative 6 over 7 plus 6 over 7 will give me sure the answer of 0. I hope now that the properties of addition and subtraction in Q is clear. I would like you now please to go and pause the video, copy those questions in your classwork copybook, and then come back to complete our last question. Let's now go and solve this example. Using the properties of addition, find the result of each of the following. Number A, 3 over 4 plus 5 over 9 plus 1 over 4 plus 4 over 9. How can I answer this question using the properties of addition? Simply go first and look at the denominators. I have here 4 and 4, and also I have 9 and 9. I am going to bring all the rational numbers with the denominator of 4 beside each other and the rational numbers with the denominator of 9 beside of each other. I'm going here to have 3 over 4 plus 1 over 4. I'm going to group them together, plus 5 over 9 plus 4 over 9. I'm going also to group them together. And don't forget to write that we did here commutative and associative property. Now, 3 over 4 plus 1 over 4 is equals to 4 over 4. And 5 over 9 plus 4 over 9 is equals to 9 over 9. This is equals to 1 plus 1, and my final result is 2. And don't forget to write that this 2 belongs to rational numbers Q. Let's go now for number B. Negative 3 over 4 plus negative 2 over 5 plus negative 2 1 over 4 plus 3 over 15. Looking at the denominators, I will have 4 and 4. What about the 5 and the 15? They are different, right? But still, I can change the 15 to be 5 by dividing by 3. So now I will have negative 3 over 4 plus negative 2 1 over 4. This is a mixed number. Let's first go and change it to an improper fraction. We said don't forget first to put the negative sign and let the denominator be the same. 4 times 2, it's 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. So it's negative 9 over 4. We have here negative 2 over 5 plus 3 over 15. We said that we are going to change this 15 to be 3 by dividing both the numerator and the denominator by 3. So as a result, I am going to have here 1 over 5. Don't forget to write in this step that we have done commutative and associative property. And let's go and complete our answer. Negative 3 over 4 plus negative 9 over 4, this is equals to negative 12 over 4. Plus negative 2 over 5 plus 1 over 5, this is negative 1 over 5. By looking here, I have different denominators. So simply, I am going to do cross multiplication. 4 times 5, so I'm going to have a denominator of 20. And 5 times negative 12, it's negative 60. Plus 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. I'm going now to have an answer of negative 64 over 20, which is not in the simplest form. In the simplest form, it's equals to negative 16 over 5. And also, don't forget to write that negative 16 over 5 belongs to rational numbers. By now, we have finished today's lesson prep 1. I would like you please to pause the video and go and copy these 2 examples in your classwork copybook. Thank you, prep 1, and have a nice day.